We got to get the Bryan Bresee hype train rolling. Jimmy Graham giving us all the feels. And do we need to get groupie some kicking groupies? Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to the award-winning Saints Happy Hour podcast. Seriously, this podcast has won awards. American standards are dropping every day. The show features Ralph, the best host in the world, who can barely pronounce his own name, much less anyone else's.
Marcus Marquez Callaway.
Dave is that dude who loves taking bathroom breaks. He's mad about almost anything, so make sure to lower your volume when he speaks.
Put that freaking clown meme back up that I made. Jesus Christ.
Andrew has sources, watches tapes, and knows football. He rarely shows up on time and wants to commit crimes to help the Saints win.
Sean Payton would have done illegal things. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because you know it's true.
Oh, and there's also Kevin, who is great at doing mock drafts, but struggles to actually watch Saints games or have a functioning relationship.
Budrich wants to know how the doctor's doing.
That ended.
Anyway, grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy the insanity.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. I'm Ralph Marlborough. We got Andrew with us. Dave is MIA doing a fantasy draft. Kevin is God knows where in St. Louis. Hello to everybody watching us live on Twitch right now. I can see Andrew's dad, Brett in Lafayette, Arc Midge, Octoberist, Hatchet John, among the many. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're going to recap Saints Texans. Is the world sleeping on Bryan Bresee? Jimmy Graham looking young and fantastic. We're going to talk offensive line concerns, and we're going to break down all the difficult roster decision. And as always, we're going to wrap it up with questions from our patrons.
Making it rain.
But before we start, remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcasts. And I also have to mention our MVP contest is underway. I'm severely under the weather tonight, so we'll get to that in a second. If you ever wanted to be on the main show and tell Kevin to shut up, or do you enjoy Dave going to the bathroom when they're here, or do you want to grill Andrew about his sauces, now you can. The person who donates the most each week gets entered into our other drawing to sit in on the main show. And if we reach $100 in donations tonight, the MVP will choose the minibar bottle from my gigantic minibar booze collection that I'm going to poison myself with. Tonight, we have Pink Whitney, something from Barstool Sports. That looks less than delightful. We have Howlerhead Monkey, which has been in the rotation but never picked. And then Budrich, who doesn't quite understand the drinking game, but we love Budrich anyway. He sent me Johnny Walker Black. So if we get to $100 and somebody wants me to force myself to drink Johnny Walker Black, I mean, I guess I'll suffer. We'll see. Thomas, my rundown is all
over the place.
All over the place.
Well, I got to say something real quick here. All right. Because Dave, I guess the one time that you got record donations.
That's right.
It was just you and Dave.
That's right.
All right. So right now it's just me and Ralph. And I just want you guys to know you do you. I'm not telling you what to do. But all I'm saying is Dave has been in my ear like, you're going to do the show tonight with Ralph. You're not going to get any donations. And Dave is like, look at the record of donations. It was when it was me and Ralph. And so he has been rubbing my nose in it. And he's already taken a victory lap on how my donations on the show with Ralph are going to be far inferior to his donations. So do what you got to do. But like, this is what you guys are doing to me. I'll be suffering through Dave's, torture. So
Thomas, do we have an
Please
MVP
donate.
leader already? I hear the chime going off left and right. Do we have an MVP leader already?
Yes, so far so good. Last week, Budrich won with 5,500 bits. And speaking of it, then so many donations, so much love. More than halfway there, Ralph.
Wow. People see, I told people that I had a little bit of the stomach bug. Now they want me to see if I'll drink. Can we get there drinking if I throw up?
it might make you feel better.
It might be.
Jerry's asking if we're back on Monday nights. This was This was for Thomas, right? Isn't he going on
Yeah,
vacation?
For Thomas,
Yeah.
Thomas is on the bougie vacation. He's going to the Polish coast or whatever. What do Polish people do for vacay, Thomas? Where are you going? You going to the Black Sea?
The Baltic Sea, man. The Black Sea.
Black Sea.
Yeah, I think we need to do a off-topic podcast with geography trivia.
If you
Something
told
like
me
that.
that the Dead Sea, the Black Sea, and the Baltic Sea all touched Poland, I'd probably believe you.
And Thomas, we got to remind people: is this the last week before we do the MVP, the drawing to see who's going to sit in with us on the main show? Is this their last chance?
Next week is the drawing, and next week is gonna be this. So this is the second to last chance. Let me do a donation update. Thanks to Budrich for T1 sub. Thanks to Biloxi Blues for the Prime sub. Thanks to Hatche John for 1.5k bits, and he said, Jimmy. Thanks to Octoberisk, to Brett and Lafayette, to Jason Champagne for the Prime sub, and Jason Champagne said, "We Dad, best podcast of the 2023 NFC South champs." Thanks to Ranamok for 500 bits, Hatchet John for 1k bits,
Wow.
Archmage for 300 bits, Who.Golfer for 500 bits, and Archmage right now
The
for
Wicker Man
200
says
bits.
the Dead Sea isn't even in Europe. Wow, I learned something.
Are we at Ralph taking a shot already?
Maybe.
Not yet, 65%. 65%.
Wow,
Nice.
So almost
All right,
almost
good job, guys.
So,
Oh,
Speaking of
baby,
which,
take that,
Chody-
Dave.
Chody-
Take that and put it in your pipe, Dave.
so I'm drinking a Miller High Life.
Yeah, I got to
Almost
replace. But I'm
there.
gonna say this.
93%. New
I'm
MVP.
gonna make a commitment on the show right now. And I'll start. I don't have an IPA in my fridge, so I can't do it tonight. But for the rest of the season, and I have one indebted to you guys already. You guys know how much I hate IPAs. For every touchdown that Jimmy Graham scores this year, I will drink one IPA.
Wow.
If he scores against the Falcons, I will drink 3 IPAs.
Wow. We're already.
So I'm making that commitment
we are
right now.
We are already there. Is this the first time we've reached the $100 and not even gotten to a topic?
I think this is the fastest one.
And
you guys are the best.
We had a
Yeah,
fast
this
one,
is-
but this is the fastest one, I think.
This is amazing. And we were talking about it. And by the way, the behind the scenes.
Maybe I should just donate to
should.
beat Dave.
the behind the scenes podcast, we were talking about it. They had a couple people there like, we don't like the behind the scenes podcast, but we were talking about doing it. And I made the commitment on the behind the scenes podcast. We'll tease it. I made the commitment of what I will drink if Jimmy Graham scores a touchdown. And it's way, way, way grosser than what Andrew's going to. But you got to listen to behind.
Oh, so you're matching me. You're going Malort for every IPA I drink.
Yeah.
You're drinking a shot of Malort.
I'm going to drink a shot of Malort every
Oh my
Jimmy
God.
Graham touchdown. And by the way, Thomas came up with a new thing. Every 4 weeks that we get it in a row, I will drink 2 shots of the liquor.
So if Jimmy Graham goes nuts, here's the thing. If Jimmy Graham goes nuts and he has 3 touchdowns in a Falcons game, I'm going to have to drink 9 IPAs.
And I'll have to drink 3 Malorts.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. By the way, I got the Falcoholic locked and loaded for this week.
So Hatchet John has decided he wants you to drink Johnny Walker Black.
I mean,
Wow.
Chody is the MVP leader, believe it or not, by 250 bits. But maybe.
Oh, wait. So does Chody get to pick?
Does Chody get to pick? Yeah.
Or we can give Hatchet John a second to beat him.
So we can do that. But I want to thank everybody. We're doing great. We have a bunch of patrons sign up. We're rocking and rolling. We're trying to get the live show locked in. We're going to do a live show in 2023. We're trying to get it locked in. We got all kinds of fun stuff planned for you guys. Extra fun content. Like I said, I got the Falcoholic, Andrew. I don't care. Here's the thing. I could have previewed the whole NFC South and got a blogger for the Panthers and Tampa Bay. But to be honest, I don't really care about them. All I care about is the Falcons. Like, that's who I hate. That's who I'm interested in. Even if the Falcons weren't supposed to be any good, that's who I'd be interested in. So
Chody picks Walker Black as well.
No,
wow.
I messed up. There's so many donations, it's hard to, count them up. So Hatchet John is in the lead, but he also wanted Johnny Walker Black, so they should have messed
Okay.
up.
He just dropped
Speaking
the Falcon
of,
again.
thanks Hatchet John for another 1k bits.
So here we go. Here we go. I got the Johnny Walker Black, and it didn't fit in the.
That's what she said.
Also, Chody wants to know how much to drink it all tonight, Ralph. Chody sounds motivated.
He's on a mission.
I don't know. I have to think about it. I'm Mike. My stomach can let me see how the Johnny Walker goes down. Johnny Walker Black. Here we go. I've never had Johnny Walker Black. This will be interesting. Oh, dude, that's good. That's good. Now I know why all the rich Europeans and the Saudis drink it. That's good.
So you're telling me that they just did you a favor?
Yeah, I got some more left.
What a disappointment.
It has like a rich oaky kind of burned flavor in it. I got a little bit left. I'll drink it.
Should we talk about our Wall of Fame? Should we?
Yeah. This is you talk about it because you requested this. Thomas was like, I don't know about this. So explain it to the people.
Well, after the touchdown, I mean, I was on cloud 9, and we were talking about this yesterday that Jimmy Graham magically made us losing to the worst team in the NFL in the third preseason game the most exciting third preseason game
Are they worse
ever.
than Arizona? I don't know. They were.
Well, they were. I mean, I don't know. Last year they were. So, but the point is, like, I don't know. Their Graham, that was just a magical moment for him to catch that ball. First of all, the 25-yard pass, and then the touchdown afterwards. For him to box out a guy. The only thing that was missing was dunking on the goalpost. Dude, like, take the flag, bro. Like, we all would have been fine with it.
It really did feel like 2011, like all over again. Like that. The first,
yes. Thank you for here we go here. So that's an easy out route, and that was fun. But this catch right here, I mean, you're seeing it. My God, I mean, vintage Jimmy Graham,
vintage,
standing over the defender. I mean,
Johnny Walker
completely dominated.
Johnny Walker Black quality.
I mean, that is just vintage Jimmy right there.
300.
I have a feeling we're about to see the touchdown.
$300. I'll drink it all.
And so, I tell Ralph, I'm like, Ralph, like, we need to have a Saints Happy Hour Wall of Fame.
Yeah, we do.
And Jimmy needs to be on it. And I'm going to go a step further. I'm ready to declare this. I'm ready to put Jimmy Graham ahead of Dalton Hilliard as my all-time favorite Saint.
Wow.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say it right now. Like I don't know. Is there something nostalgic about that touchdown that I was just like, that's it. Like Jimmy Graham's my favorite player of all time.
Wow. I mean,
and so I was like, dude, we're putting him on the Wall of Fame. Like, and at first you were like, well, we can't. Should we replace Zach Strief? That's kind of weird. And Strief dropping the ball. I'm like, no, Strief is on the Wall of Fame forever. You put Jimmy next to him.
Is it our Mount Rushmore? We put four guys.
Yeah, there's no rationale to it. So it's not like best Saints players of all time. It's just players that have marked this podcast in some way or another. And so maybe we got a couple more spots. We'll figure out something weird to add next to them. But congratulations, Jimmy. You are officially inaugurated into the Saints Happy Hour. Mount Everest. Or what? Not Mount Everest. What is it?
The Saints.
Mount Rushmore.
$300. I'll drink it all. The white pinky and the howler head. I'll drink it all. $300.
Yeah. I mean, seriously though, like, I don't know that emotional is the right word, but there was something epically beautiful about what Jimmy Graham did.
And here's the thing that, like, the national media was like hopping on to Saints Twitter, and they're like kind of like banging on Saints fans. The national media, they don't get it, and they don't need to get it. Like, we love Jimmy Graham, and I don't even really I can't even necessarily like explain it in words, because it's not like a specific, like Gleason. Like, we obviously love Gleason, the punt block, everything he's fought with off the field. Like, it's easy to explain. Jimmy Graham, it's like, yeah, he was really good, but they've had a lot of really good Saints, and he left. They traded him. It was kind of acrimonious at the end with the, he wanted to be paid like a wide receiver. They wanted to pay him like a tight end. It was acrimonious when he left, and he came back, and like, we were pumped about it, but I've been really surprised at the outpouring of how much people care about Jimmy Graham being back and how just excited they are. Like, and it wasn't like, Andrew, I thought it would be like a couple days thing and then it would kind of wear off. Like, it hasn't. And like Malcolm Jenkins didn't get that, right? He came back. Other guys have.
I mean, Malcolm Jenkins was fun, and his second tour of duty was pretty good.
He was really good too.
Yeah,
like really. Like if he hadn't retired, the Saints would have happily had him back last year. Happily.
I mean, here's the thing, like Jimmy. I think just being a receiver and tight end receiver, whatever you want to call it, but like the way he would make plays was always just exciting. I think just being a perimeter player, a skill player, I think gives you an advantage. But also, I think for him to do what he did last night was significant in the sense that he was on the bubble. Like there was a chance. There was still people were talking about, is he going to make the team? Is he going to get cut? And there was just kind of this emphatic like, I'm back, bitches.
I'm back.
And not only am I back, but like I'm gonna have a role on this team, and I'm gonna make some plays this season.
I mean, like he could be a red zone beast. Like, why can't he? It could be fun.
Unfortunately, Run Amok is saying that Jimmy is not on Cameo, unfortunately, because we would take all this donation money and spend whatever it took to get him to do an intro for us.
DM him. Spend all the liquor money to get Jimmy Graham to insult us.
Doesn't Jimmy care about some? I don't know. Can we donate to some charity?
I'm sure he has a charity. So the Saints lost to the Texans, but as we said, who cares? No starter played. No one got hurt, and we talked about what Jimmy did. And Bryan Bresee looked awesome. I want to talk about Bresee, Andrew, because I feel like the Saints' first-round pick, his hype this summer is muted, partially because we had A.T. Perry, Jake Haener, Colin Sanders, Jimmy Graham has sort of taken over our summer, right? But my, oh my, did you see the spin move versus the Texans? Lord, Malcolm Roach saw it, and here's the thing that got me really excited, Andrew. When you're talking about players, and we talk about them, players no special talent. And listen to Malcolm Roach talk about the spin move. And if you don't get excited, I don't know what to tell you. Thomas, play that soundbite.
Did you see it? I never saw nobody spin on the line. Like he's spinning, people work it up a few steps, then spin. He spins on the line. I told you, I said this a few days ago. Yeah, it's cat-like quickness. He's able to jump off the ball. For him being so big, it's really a sight to see. He has been blessed with the God-given ability to be that quick at that size, and the sky's the limit for him for real. And I'm glad he on our team.
I mean, if he is special, Andrew, if he is like first team all rookie, defensive rookie of the year candidate, what does that do to the Saints defensive line?
Well, I don't think he has to be, first of all. I mean, I think your point is correct. I don't think that Bresee has been bad. I think he's been kind of flashing all of camp. I think that the reason why we haven't talked about him much is that, defensive tackle's been, they got two veterans that they're excited about, Saunders and Shepard, and I think they've both looked pretty good. And they're guys that are going to be focusing on stuff in the run or on early downs, and I think they've had a good camp. And then you look at, like, the Malcolm Roach has really stepped up and he's looked really great. And a lot of people have been talking about Roach. And so, I do think Bresee's gotten lost in the shuffle a little bit, but all the while, like, he has flashed and he has had an impressive camp for a rookie. So I think the Saints are in a good spot where they don't really, I'm not going to say they don't need him. They need him to have a good season, but they don't need him to go nuts this year. They don't need him to be like the rookie that, I don't know, who's the last defensive tackle? Yeah, they don't. Yeah, well, I mean, maybe like Onyemata. Like, they don't need him to come out of the gate and be like that. Well, but it's all bonus if he is.
Well, Onyemata was interesting his rookie year, but he wasn't like, I wouldn't say Onyemata flashed a couple times.
Yeah,
but
I've never seen Onyemata make a spin move like that. I mean, now look, first of all, Bresee, you got to finish the play because he misses a sack there. That was annoying, but I've never seen. I mean, Cedric Ellis. Sheldon Rankins is who I'm thinking of.
Sheldon
Rankins,
Leroy Glover.
Yeah.
Onyemata was impressive from day one with just his strength. Like he would just throw dudes left and right, and you would be like, wow, he just ragdolled that dude. But Onyemata never impressed you with like speed, flexibility, spinning. Onyemata was just brute strength. Hopefully he's
also Nico Lalos. Like, is he going to get cut? Because I feel like he's had like 7 sacks in 3 games.
I mean, I would say he's probably going to get cut. I mean, they all 99% of them, they cut them and they make the practice squad if they want it.
Yeah.
We've been through this before. I was trying to think, when was the last high draft pick? I'm talking higher than a 5th round pick. The Saints cut, and I guess Rick Leonard was the last one. He got cut and they put him on the practice squad. He's the highest one I can think of. But we knew when the Saints picked him, when he wasn't in like the top 300 of Mel Kiper or Mike D'Attilio or other dudes, we knew that was a disaster as soon as they read the name off the card.
Right.
Thomas, give us a donation update.
So many new donations. Chody donated 2.8K bits, and he's the new MVP leader. Who.golfer, thanks for 500 bits, and also thanks to Mr. Cleo 6635 for gifting a tier 1 sub. Thanks, man.
So
what Chody still wants to know, what's it going to take for you to drink those other 2 shots?
I got 300. I got the pink. If you want me to drink the pink Whitney, and you want me to drink Howler Head 3. I'll tell you what. I'll cut you a deal, $250 for all 3. I'll cut you a deal, $250.
Wow.
But before we get to our next topic, I want to remind people, if you enjoy the show and you're listening to the free version, which, by the way, we know you are, because we're going to have a record August. We're going to hit over 45,000 downloads. So I know a ton of you guys listen to the free version of the podcast. Consider becoming a patron. Go to saintshappyhour.com. You get all of our content, every show, every day, ad-free. You get access to the Discord where we're hanging out, chatting, and me and Andrew were chatting all game long Sunday night. You get access to that. You get the Booze Bundle box if you want to do that. And now Patreon has a free trial. Sign up, try us out for 7 days. If you like what you hear, if you love it, stay, become a patron. If you don't like it, we won't charge anything. So it's free trial. Try us for 7 days. Thomas, the donations are rolling in. But Andrew, we talked about Jimmy Graham already, but roster battles. Kicker. Let's start there. Does Dennis Allen, is he going to have the courage to change kicker, change punter? I mean, because Groupie, I think he's an NFL kicker. He's going to kick somewhere, but is it going to be with the Saints?
I don't think so. I think Lutz has done enough. Now, if he had hit that 60, I think then you start to wonder, like, he was. Then, maybe is this it for Lutz? But I still think Lutz has done enough throughout camp. He's going to kick somewhere in the NFL, I think.
If he would have hit the 60, Loomis would have texted Peyton, "It's a 5th now, buddy." By the way,
does Denver need a kicker?
They do. They need a kicker. They need
everything.
Groupie.
There's something beautiful about Sean Payton needing a kicker. I feel like him going back to kicker purgatory is
it's beautiful.
And,
Traquan, Groupie for a 5th and a pound of marijuana from Denver. I'm just saying. Think it over, Sean.
You mean a pound of Vicodin?
Stop. You're never getting unblocked ever from Sean Payton.
Well, I think Elon's my only chance.
That's right.
That's why you bought a Tesla.
Elon is gonna be like the Arizona Cardinals, no blocking. Also, too, I've seen media members, and this surprises me, Andrew. They're talking about Andres Pete not making the roster. Now, one, it doesn't really benefit the Saints cap-wise. They save like $1.5 million in cap space this year. They still have like the sicko dead cap hit for him next year. I think it's like 13 point something million in dead money for Pete in 2024. And I know Pete was bad, and his best block the best block he had last night was against A.Z. Perry. I get that Pete's looking terrible, but like, if they don't have Pete, they have 5 linemen that I feel good about. And honestly, I don't even feel really good about the 5 starting lineup they have. They can't get rid of Pete. They can't get rid of
Well, the only thing I can think of is who was the offensive lineman they cut, and it was I think it was Larry Warford. Remember, they ended up getting rid of him, and everyone was like, "Why did you cut Warford?" Like, ass and mask. Like, why did you cut Larry Warford? He could have been a backup on the roster, and he's better than the backups. And I remember texting someone about that, like, yeah, why? And the feedback I got was like, because he would have been a locker room cancer. Like, Larry Warford would not have been happy to accept that role. And it would not have been a good situation to have him disgruntled in the locker room. Now, I don't think Pete's like that. I think Pete is, say what you will about Pete's play, but like, Pete's a good dude. He's well respected. He liked in the locker room. Pete isn't a character problem. And so I think he'd be disappointed, but I think if the Saints told him, you're going to be a backup this year, Hurst is ahead of you, Penning's ahead of you, we're going with the young guy at left tackle, but like, someone goes down, we're going to turn to you. I don't know. Are you really telling me that like Sal DeVary and Lewis Kidd or whoever they would keep is better than Pete as a backup? I struggle to see it.
And here's the thing, Pete can play right tackle. Like, he's played right tackle at times and been not a disaster. And I have to say, like, if something happened to Ramczyk, I would feel better about Pete than anyone else on the roster. So I don't see Pete not making it. Now,
currently I also wouldn't be comfortable with Pete playing. Yeah. So that's a tough decision for the Saints.
Well,
I know he's been injured again, which is a story, like, it's the story every camp with Pete. He's always banged up.
But I want you to explain.
Maybe he's out of shape,
I want you to explain. No, but people who have been patrons for a long time, they know you do your amazing grades, and maybe you'll do the grades this year, maybe you won't. But I'm going to make you do film study where you break down the film. And you've always said about Pete is not Teron Armstead in quality, obviously, but also in the sense of Teron Armstead could have an injured knee, he could have an injured shoulder, and he could just play and be okay because his technique was so good. But you've always said, like, Pete, he struggles to play well when he's injured. And I want to say either this year or a year previous, you like went on a mini rant and you were like, please, if you're hurt, Pete, just don't play. Like, you can't do it. And I think that's what I thought of last night. I was like, ooh, he's coming back from that injury and he's looking like.
I kind of like I'll try to avoid the tennis analogies because I know you guys get sick of that. But like, I would kind of explain it like, imagine.
Do a pickleball analogy, man.
Yeah, pickleball analogy. There you go. Just imagine if there's a fastball pitcher, right? And he has a 102 mile an hour fastball, but that's all he's got. And so then all of a sudden, like, his arm's a little tweaked. And so his fastball is like 93 now, and it's just not the same. And he's trying to do other stuff, and he's missing the strike zone, and he's kind of getting shelled because his fastball is not fast enough. And that's different from, let's say like Tom Glavine. You remember how he would just pound and like, he loses a little speed. So his fastball's like 87, but he still locates his ball and he still mixes up his pitches and he can still find a way to get guys out by being crafty. And that's what Armstead was. Like, he had power, he had speed, he had smarts, he had leverage, he had technique, he had everything.
In the chat.
And so that's how good Armstead was. That, like, if he was banged up at his knee, he could compensate and find a way to block a dude in other ways. Whereas I think Pete was purely a power player. And when he's banged up and he can't maul a dude, he doesn't have the technique, he doesn't have the quickness, he doesn't have the other things that he can rely on to block a dude properly.
Yeah. And I can't see them cutting Pete because, man, the Saints offensive line, I feel so much better better about linebacker. They have Jalen Smith. I feel so much better about, like, you talked about the defensive line with the additions they've made there. I feel so much better about wide receiver now. Tight end, but Pete is like, he says Pete is like getting a 15 in
that analogy is incredible. I love it so much. That was Aldi Marino. But Pete is like
degenerate gambler after my own heart.
Pete is like getting a 15 in blackjack, and you're just like, please bust, please bust. You're holding because the house is showing 14. You know, it's like one of those. Or that the house is showing 12 and you have 15, so you stay. But you just have to wait for that 4.
You double down on 11. You double down on 11 and you drew a 4. And you're just like, God damn it. That is a great analogy. Thank you. But the other thing, and I'm kind of glad. I was disappointed Dave blew us off for fantasy football, and at first I was mad at him, but now I'm glad he's not here because Nick Anderson got cut, and he was going to take a victory lap.
Oh, I didn't see that. I haven't had a chance to check yet. Were there other cuts?
Nick Anderson got cut, and I want to say there was one other cut that I'm sure people in the chat will mention. But I was glad because
K1 Baker.
Kwan Baker. Yeah, that was the other one. Like, Dave would have taken the victory lap, seeing it say, I told you so. It was good to not pick him. So I'm glad Dave isn't here to take his victory lap.
And Jake Vargas, fullback.
So is there anything on this roster that you looked at it last night, Andrew? Because Dennis Allen said, look, there's like 8 spots up for grabs. Is there any, besides Pete, is there any surprises that you could see in this roster? You're the UDFA son. Did he do enough?
I don't think so.
Are you proud of him?
I am proud of his effort. It was a good effort, good solid effort. He made it competitive. I think it'll be Lutz and Gilligan, and I just think when
never sits on the Jewish Empire.
I think when you look at the roster as a whole, I mean, Lucas Kroll is kind of a tough cut. I think he needs to be cut, but you put him on the practice squad, it'll be fine. Receiver Traquan is kind of he basically hasn't performed all of camp, and so I mean the thing with Traquan is I think you put him on IR. So like you IR him for 3 weeks, and so you take him initially, and then you put him on IR, and then you bring back Kirkwood or whatever.
Is that an airline that flies direct to Denver?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know that Denver would take him right now because he's not healthy. But yeah, safety's a logjam. That's the position where obviously I think Smoke Monday is going to get cut, but there's still like a couple guys in that group where it's like there's a good mix of players there, and they're pretty deep. And Marcus May might get suspended, so like there's a number of guys. There's kind of a logjam at safety.
Would they dare try to sneak Howden through waivers? Would they?
No way.
Would they?
Howden stays.
Would they dance with the devil? I agree there. I think Kroll, he's going to get cut, and I think he's going to make the Saints practice squad. But I wonder if he's going to last on the Saints practice squad. Because, Andrew, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Week 1, week 2, 3, 4 teams have a tight end injury. And then where they didn't want Lucas Kroll when they didn't need to claim him at roster cutdown. But like week 3, when Detroit is down 2 tight ends, they'll be like, we saw Lucas Kroll. His tape in preseason was decent, whatever. We need a tight end. Come here. It's kind of like Latavius Murray, right? He was on the Saints practice squad. They thought they could shuffle him on and off and it would be fine. And then Denver's like, hey, come on down. We're desperate for a running back. October says the biggest surprise would be Groupie replacing Lutz. It's not the Saints' style, Andrew, to do that. And to me, I think if the Saints weren't a contender, I think Groupie would be the pick. You're like, hey, we're not a contender. Let's go with cheaper, younger kicker. But like the Saints are trying to win a division title. Yeah. I don't know that as much as Lutz has struggled, like Dennis Allen probably still remembers that kick against the Texans Monday night, kick against Atlanta last year. Like he's still got some big moments. Now he's got some struggles too, but I can't see Dennis Allen, defensive minded head coach, rolling the dice on the rookie kicker that looks like he's 12.
Man, maybe they'll surprise us, but man, when you look at the decisions they made last offseason, when they kept Zach Bond, they kept Throckmorton, they kept Andrew Dowling, they kept it just felt like every decision was a retread of the decisions they kept Dwayne Washington. Yeah. Like, I feel like they made an effort this offseason to bring in a bunch of different players, kind of overhaul their roster a little bit. But I have a hard time seeing Dennis Allen when it comes down to decision time, going with what he knows versus what he doesn't know. He has a history of going with what he knows.
Well, I'll say this. This is how bad offensive line play in the NFL is. The Saints cut my UDFA son, Throckmorton. He'll have multiple waiver claims on him.
Yeah.
That's how bad. That's not saying he's good. Like, that's just where offensive line play in the NFL. Teams will be like, he played a bunch of games for the Saints. He started. Get him here. Get him a plane ticket here. So it'll be interesting.
Throckmorton's making the team.
Yeah. So that's where the rosters and we will break it down on tomorrow, Tuesday, when the Saints make the decisions. We'll try to have a podcast, go through it all. And the funny thing about rosters, and I know this is terrible to say because we're a Saints podcast. We love the Saints. We do this every day, sometimes multiple times a day. But like, I can't remember barely even the big roster decisions from last year, Andrew. And I know I can't remember from 2 years ago. So like, I know we talk about the bottom of the roster, but like, as soon as it's made, we don't care. Like, we're just like, okay, on with it, on to Tennessee, whatever.
All right. Well, let's talk about donations. What needs to happen for you to happen? Where are we, and how far do we need to go for Ralph to take this next one to the face?
Well, 250, like Ralph bargained.
No, but that's for both. That's for both.
That's for both. Yeah, we are at 63% for both.
If you get to 75, I'll do the Pink Whitney.
Okay, if you get 75. And thanks to Ronald.
Are you feeling better, Ralph?
I'm feeling better. The Johnny Walker, it has healing powers. I'm not gonna lie. Like it settled down my stomach, made my headache go away, gave me energy. Like I can see why rich people like the Johnny Walker Black and the Johnny Walker Blue. I can see why they like it. It's good stuff. I want to say this before we get to the mailbag. Prime members, did you know you can subscribe to Saints Happy Hour Twitch channel for free? Yeah, it's a great way to support Saints Happy Hour, and it doesn't cost you anything. Thomas even created easy instructions on how to do it right in the podcast description. My mom can do it. And if my mom can do it, you can do it. So click on the link, subscribe to Saints Happy Hour using Amazon Prime. Doesn't cost you anything. It's a great way to support the show. Thomas already gave us a donation update. Thomas, take it to the top. We got to do questions.
Before that, thanks to Who.Golfer for 500 bits and to Run Amok for
Who.Golfer, send me some more stuff. You sent me, you understand this game. You sent me some horrible stuff along with a few good ones. Send me some more stuff. I appreciate it.
Send him some Malort because Jimmy Graham's going to be scoring some touchdowns.
Do we have any? Can you buy Malort not in Illinois? Like if Jimmy Graham starts scoring touchdowns by the bushel, can I go to my local liquor store and get Malort, or do I need to have a patron ship it to me like before? What if we may have to do it? We have to.
But Budrich is asking, is trivia dead?
No, trivia is not dead, Budrich. We'll do trivia next week. The problem with trivia is once we get into the season, like trivia becomes harder because we have so many questions, we have so much to talk about. I have so much drinking to do. It just gets hard to find, but we love trivia. And by the way, Budrich picked his highlight of the Saints in the Discord today was the Saints San Francisco from 1990. The Saints, they beat the 49ers 13-10. San Francisco had 6 turnovers, started backup quarterback Steve Young. Budrich, that highlight was delightful. Thank you for giving that to me while I ate my breakfast this morning. I appreciate it. Thomas, take it to the top. Finger guns. I think we need a new soundbite for the next question, because right now I have this.
We need one from Dennis Allen.
We need a Dennis Allen soundbite. But Dennis Allen, he never says anything interesting.
Doesn't Dennis Allen, isn't he more like affirming? He's always like, that's a good question.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we need.
Maybe we need that.
We need that. It's a
yeah, that's a good idea, I think.
It's with the Dennis Allen one. Good question. All right, so Thomas,
Jody says she almost cried when Jimmy was going to dunk. Thank you. Exactly.
He should have dunked, man. He would have just. Well, maybe, like.
You think he's saving it for Atlanta? Do you think he plays Atlanta? He's like, fuck it, I'm taking the flag.
I think, dude, if he scored here's the thing, it's a 15-yard penalty, so it'd have to be either like a complete just destruction of a team where like the 15 yards doesn't matter, or it would have to be with like 1 second left. Like the last play, because
where it doesn't matter.
There, it doesn't matter.
Here's the thing, man. Like Dennis Allen, we've been really hard on him as a fan base. There's been a lot of negativity about him, but like I feel like he showed signs when he was out in San Diego or LA, against the Chargers, and he talked about the hurricane and the earthquake and the lightning delay and all that. And like for the first time we talked about this on the show, that he showed some personality. We were like, oh, whoa, Dennis Allen's showing a side we've never seen before. And if that guy has any sense of humor, he will find a way to get Jimmy Graham a touchdown against the Falcons.
Oh God,
he will find a way to make that happen. 'Cause I'm sorry, but like I'm kind of back to being like, yeah, Dennis Allen's no fun as a coach if he doesn't make that happen.
Like. Here's the thing that I think Saints fans may not understand. Atlanta fans, they hate Jimmy Graham and they hate Taysom Hill. Like Taysom Hill
the ideal scenario is a Taysom Hill pass to Jimmy.
That's right.
That's the ideal scenario. And I mean, Sean Payton would have done that.
Oh God.
There's zero doubt. Sean Payton would have had that circled on his calendar. He's like, whenever that game is, remind me, and we're doing that.
That's right.
This is happening.
They would have had some sort of like, he'd have named the play like Sherman 457 or something, Peyton, and he'd have leaked that shit to Peter King, Yeah. Or like it would have been burn Atlanta left, right, slot or something. Like Peyton would have just gone the whole 9 yards. Like whatever appropriate level of smack talk is, Peyton would have been up here. So, Thomas, what's the first question? By the way, I want to remind people, send us questions. We will get to them all. We will do them in a patron mailbag. We will do them in a special mailbag. We get to all these questions. We use them all. So keep sending them. Even if we don't use your question on the main show, we will get to it eventually. Thomas, first question.
All right, first question from Bruce AC. It's Taysom's birthday. The statistics I can see show no record for sacks and interceptions. Which will he get first?
Ooh. Does he still play on special teams? Andrew?
He does. He does.
He could sack a punter, right? If
it's a punter pass.
Well, yeah, like if it's a punter bad snap, right? And he's behind the line, would it be a sack or a tackle?
I don't think that's a sack.
Yeah,
I think it would have to be a trick play where the punter's actually throwing
and Taysom would sack him.
But he could also get a pick on that play.
Oh yeah, like a fake punt. Taysom intercepts it, runs it back. That would be amazing.
Yeah, the problem is Jimmy Graham is almost, I would say, more likely to get a pick. Like they would throw Jimmy in at the end of the half, to be the deep safety, or maybe Michael Thomas. Like I feel like those guys would be more likely to get a pick than.
How? This is a question that the nerds were making fun of the Saints, but I kind of like reveled in it. Taysom Hill is making $10 million cash this year, and he's never once last year did he play even 50% of the Saints' offensive snaps. Like, how Loomis is that on the Loomis scale of don't give a fuck? That he pays Taysom Hill is making $10 million cash this year, and he's not going to play 50% of offensive snaps in any game.
I don't know. I don't know. He's kind of worth it, man. I mean, it's all about your value when you touch the football, and I think we could all say that like he finds a way to maximize the little time he has on the field.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just
You
saying.
know, I mean, well, but look. Like when does Taysom touch the ball? When it's like 3rd and 1, and he
4th and 1,
runs the ball, like that's extremely valuable to pick up that first down, or it's 1st and goal from the 2. He runs and he scores a touchdown. Like what did he have? 7 touchdowns?
Yeah, Hatchet John says low usage hog efficiency. I know it was a typo, but I like that. Thomas, put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah,
Taysom,
hog efficiency.
Taysom Hill hog efficiency. I like that. So Thomas, what's next?
All right, maybe before we get to the next question, a quick question from the chat from the Wicker Man. Speaking of Jimmy, what would hurt them more? Taysom throws it to Jimmy or Jimmy throws it to Taysom?
If Jimmy throws a touchdown pass to Taysom, I will drink 15 IPAs on the show.
Jimmy throwing a touchdown pass is just Dennis Allen pulling his pants down and whipping the whole thing out against Atlanta. Like he's rubbing his nuts all over their face.
And his nipples.
And his nipples. Like I'm for it. Like that would be amazing. They would, if Dennis Allen did that to Arthur Smith, Arthur Smith would have to, I think he would have to resign on the spot. Butter says Jamal laterals it to Taysom. I like that. Thomas, what's next?
All right, next question from Who Dat, a long one. Does the NFL have a new problem with players refusing to complete a game after there's been a cutoff level injury? Is this just a preseason issue when nobody much cares about the games, or will it extend into the regular season?
Who Dat, I've been really trying to stay away from this one, so I feel like you're trying to get me in trouble.
I
feel like I really shouldn't be speaking my thoughts on it.
Here's the thing. The preseason stopping of the game and the thing with Hamlin last year in Buffalo, and they should have stopped the game. They shouldn't have played the game because they thought he was dead. And
I can't. What happened? They never made that game up, right?
They never made the game up.
Yeah.
But this is why,
and it had massive implications for seeding.
It did, but this is why the NFL didn't want to open that box of we're stopping the game, and they should have stopped the game in Buffalo. But this is the reason why, when you look at it and people say, why would they want to continue? Why would they huddle up with officials? Why wouldn't they just call it and be done with it?
It set a precedence. Yeah,
this is why they didn't want to open the box of should we or should we not continue the game? Because the thing is, what the hell? Dave just pops in like Kramer from Seinfeld.
What the hell, man? I'm not ready for this. I need to ban him. Mute Dave.
This is why they didn't want to do that, and this is why this is what the NFL is afraid of. The players realized, Andrew, that if they ban together and we're not playing this game, we're not continuing, there's not a goddamn thing the NFL can do about it. And that scares the NFL more than anything. They don't want the players to feel empowered. So they didn't want that box open, but it's too late. It's opened. And I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know
how it's going to go either. I mean, here's the thing. Like that thing that happened to Hamlin was a fluke. Like that was insane. I've never seen that before. I'd never even heard of it before it happened. So hopefully we never see that again, because that was horrific and that was really scary. And yeah, like that. I don't know that you can really equate that to anything because we've never seen it before. But like a dude getting carted off for a concussion and a dude that gets knocked out cold, we've sadly, we've seen that all the time. And we can get into a whole thing about whether football should exist or not. I mean, we could go down that road, but the reality is, I think, like, football is going to have concussions, like, period, end of story. And if you're going to cancel games because of concussions, I would just ask, and maybe, I don't know, maybe they say like it's different when a guy's like dinged up, but he's not knocked out cold and he's not, there's not fear of paralysis or, is he moving or whatever. Like, obviously there's different levels of extreme when it comes to concussions, but man, like I just feel like if we're gonna start saying that that's a reason for stopping a game, like I start to wonder, like, is it worth? Like, should we just cancel football altogether? Because like concussions are definitely part of the game.
Dave, did you clean all the grapefruit IPA off the Magic turret?
No, I'm still waiting for my. You know,
So
here's
talk to us about your draft. How'd it go?
Hold on. Here's the thing. First of all, it won't happen today. It won't happen tomorrow. It may not happen next week. It'll happen when I'm least expecting it. But at some point, my wife will come in here and she'll say, "Why?"
No way.
She'll say, "Why is this wicker basket full of lightsabers? Why is it soggy and damp and smell like grapefruit beer?"
Thomas, does my mic?
Why is
people
that
are saying
quality
that
so
I touched
terrible?
the
It does
wire.
not sound like that on my phone.
They're saying I touching the wire, and I got a brand new Yeti.
You
Barely
are
out
not
of the box.
hardwired, man.
That's what. Well, sorry.
Ralph, I told you, man. Behind the scenes, guys.
I'm sorry, Dad. Sorry, Dad. So, how was your draft, Dave? Give us the 45-second overview.
You know what? I don't even know. I don't even remember who I drafted. It was okay. 12-team
Dave is
league.
the wire.
Wait, what?
Somebody said Dave.
Did you
is
draft
the
Jimmy?
wire. Did you draft Jimmy?
I didn't draft Jimmy. In fact, I don't think I drafted any Saints players.
Wow, you did the Ralph.
Yeah, I
Stayed away.
No, normal draft. Everything was fine. Everything was good.
Yeah.
Got a good team.
So
apparently in the ESPN in the projections as far as like, you know, who's gonna win, I was in second place.
Oh wow.
God, I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that.
Good job, Thomas. Thomas, what's next? Thanks for giving us 15 whole minutes, Dave. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Are we in questions? What's going on?
That's right. We're in question segment.
You're welcome. Gracing you with my presence.
Somebody said, Hatchet John says, I'm touching Dave with my bad hand.
Did you get to $750? I'm here to get you to $750.
And we did not.
You're not even close, are you?
We set the record for the fastest $100, though.
See, I told you guys Dave was going to do this and throw it in my face and mock me. Thanks a lot, patrons. You know, this was your chance to prove Dave wrong, and you didn't.
By the way, actually, now that I'm on this, I'll give a shout out to Mr. Billy, who said hello to me at Francolini's sandwich shop on Chapatulas today. Recognized me, said hello, went out of his way to say hello. Nice. Very nice guy. We talked shop. Thank you. Appreciate your support. Don't ever be afraid to say hello.
And the people that said my white shirt
my white shirt
made me look fat. It hurt my feelings today.
Yeah, no, it's not the shirt. It's you.
It is. 47, and I have
Jesus.
Fat and crippled. What do you want? So, Thomas, what's next?
All right, next question from Saints Rabbit. He asks, did the Saints do something to Aaron Andrews? Can Juge check his sources? And before he answers, I will answer for him.
Why don't you back it up with a source? My source is that I made it the fuck up.
What is that?
I love that.
I love that soundbite. I don't even know what it's from.
That's the best soundbite I think we've ever had.
That's some sort of it's some sort of anime soundbite that Pudrich dropped in the Discord, and I was like, Thomas, I've never heard this. I'm an old man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's from, but it's awesome. Get it in the rotation.
Can you play that again?
Yeah.
Why don't you back it up with a source? My source is that I made it the fuck up.
That's great.
Amazing. Like sport, like every sports podcast or radio broadcast or television show should have that as a soundbite. It's brilliant. Skip Bayless.
I feel like it's perfect for us, though.
Skip Bayless specifically should have that as a soundbite.
Yeah, I think I'm going to just start making up Saints news. And when people ask me that, I'm just going to
be like, my source is that I made it the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm just going to play that. I'm just going to play that clip. It's amazing.
What is that originally from? What is the? We should give proper credit.
You should
give
just check
proper
the chat. Badrich answered in the chat.
Okay.
It's from a video game, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, but it's from a parody.
It's Metal Gear.
Metal Gear Rising, yeah.
Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with Metal Gear.
So
It's a spin-off,
I'm laughing so hard I'm tearing up. But again,
guys, I
guys,
made it the fuck up. You know what? I will give I'll give Nick Underhill $500 if he says that the next time. Yeah, 500 bits. If the next time someone asks him how he knows something and he says, "My sources, I made it the fuck up."
That's probably true, man. Probably true.
It is legendary.
Suck on this, bitch. Suck on this, bitch.
It probably eclipsed the sun never sets on the Juge Empire as my favorite all-time sound.
That's the worst joke I've ever heard.
The sun never sets on the Juge Empire.
Thomas, put it in the notes. Next year, the bracket needs to be a bracket of our sound bites.
I'm pretty sure I came up with that idea.
It's probably
a year
That's pretty
ago.
good.
It's the most meta, self-absorbed thing we could ever do.
Yeah,
and we're
I'm
totally
pretty sure I
doing it
came up with that idea a long time ago.
Yeah. So, Thomas, what's next?
Oh, next already?
Yeah.
Did you
we
answer
actually
the
answer that question?
I
I don't think we
did.
answered that
Sorry,
question.
we didn't. What was the question? Put it back
Go
up.
back to the question.
We got totally sidetracked.
Did the Saints do something
Jesus,
to Aaron
man.
Andrews, and can Juge check his sauces? Are those two separate questions or are they related?
I mean,
Does Juge have some information about the whereabouts of Aaron Andrews?
No,
that we don't-
did you go to the game or did you watch the broadcast?
No, I did not. I sold my
So
I watched the
for like a long part in the third quarter.
Aaron Andrews was on the opposite sideline.
Yes, she interviewed multiple Texans, and it started with this, and this was unbelievable. They show they show all these plays being made, and it's like 50 years of Fox football, whatever.
yeah.
And the last play before they go back to the Saints,
30 years.
I'm sure, whatever. They show the Minnesota Miracle.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
Like, what?
So it's like, great. The Vikings aren't playing. You know, like Stroud is the quarterback of the tag. Like, why are you Diggs isn't on this team? Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
So they play it. And then afterwards, they cut back to the game. And instead of us getting to watch the game, we have to watch Aaron Andrews interviewing. Who was she interviewing? Damian Pierce?
Yeah, something like that.
She was interviewing a running back who wasn't even in the freaking league when that play happened.
Tom Rinaldi was on the Saints sideline. He was asleep during the game, I think.
And Aaron Andrews asks, one of the first questions she asks him is, where were you when the Minnesota Miracle happened? And what did you think about that play? And I'm just like, did you lose a bet? Did the Falcons gain control? Like, are you being blackmailed by a Falcons fan?
I'm gonna give people a peek behind the curtains. My wife was so enraged by the Minnesota Miracle Aaron Andrews asking Damian Pierce questions. She said so many inappropriate things about Aaron Andrews. If I would have videotaped her, on my phone, I could have had her canceled. Like it was a tour de force of rage. My wife,
Aaron Andrews deserves it.
My
honestly.
wife, but my wife, she hates.
That was absolutely awful. Like,
female sports.
Why? I mean, I don't understand for the life of me how it made sense to drop that.
Drop the Minnesota Miracle. Let's just torture these people even more. Horrible.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So we got that one. What's next, Thomas?
All right. Final question of the show from Keith. A first-time question from him, I think.
Thanks.
If you could pick a Saint to win a comeback player of the year, would you go with Mike Thomas, Jimmy, David Carr, or Will Lutz?
Ooh, see,
his name is Derek.
His name is Jimmy.
Here's the thing: me and Kevin have a hot takes podcast later in the week that addresses this. But I'll say this: for the Saints to win and be awesome, you pick Derek Carr. But
you got to pick Carr. Yeah.
Every time Jimmy Graham scores a touchdown, Andrew has to drink an IPA, and if he scores a touchdown against Atlanta, he has to drink 3. Like, Jimmy Graham comeback player of the year, because his catch total is going to be low. Like he probably have to be close to double-digit touchdowns. That means Andrew would be drinking an IPA every other week on this podcast.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. I mean, I have to.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Where am I supposed to be upset about this?
Wait. So you missed this, Dave. So I made a pledge to the community that, and I already owe one. Like I don't have a IPA in my fridge, so I got to go buy one.
This is
so I can drink it next
retroactive
week.
based on the last preseason game.
So I already owe one IPA. But for every touchdown that Jimmy Graham scores henceforth for the Saints, I will drink one IPA per show.
This is
however, if he scores against the Falcons, then I'll do 3. So for example, if he were to score 3 touchdowns against the Falcons, I have to drink 9 IPAs in one show.
In one show?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not sure that's physically possible.
Could you funnel? We get him a funnel.
We're gonna have to do something.
Maybe, I might have to space him out or something. Yeah.
No. We're gonna figure this out.
Isn't there like a drinkable? Isn't there like an all-day IPA? Isn't there like a lighter one that's?
There are. Well, I mean, so
the Wicker Man makes a great.
There are
point.
what are called session IPAs. Those are all under 5% alcohol.
Here,
that might be the route I have to go if I have to drink 9 of them.
I don't know about that.
The Wicker Man makes a great point. Comeback player of the year, Hamlin is minus 285. Like basically, all Hamlin has to do for Buffalo is
not die again.
Is not die again, and he's comeback player of the year.
No, it's true. It's true. Hamlin, if he's got a lock on the comeback player of the year, but. Look, yeah, it's a lock of the week, but this is for our own podcast, so we're doing our own voting on this. So
yeah,
I mean, I gotta pick Jimmy, right?
I love it. I mean, yeah, I love it. I love the bet.
Though,
Jimmy's gonna do great.
You can make a case any of them means the Saints had an awesome year.
Yeah, no,
Michael Thomas would be cool though.
Michael Thomas.
I mean, I would be happy to see it for him.
I mean, for me and Ralph, this is a no-lose situation because the Saints either do well or we get to see you be miserable.
Ralph is in this boat too. You missed that part.
I mean,
he has to drink Malort.
Okay.
If Jimmy scores a touchdown.
Oh my. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
So it's only good for you, Dave.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, what do I care?
Malort ain't no Johnny Walker Black. I can tell you
great.
that.
I'm just going to enjoy watching you guys suffer. This is great.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was the.
Let's go Saints. Who dat?
That's the final question. Thomas, before we get out of here, give us a recap of.
Did you guys even get to 10,000? Did Ralph even have to drink anything?
Yeah, I drank. I had to drink the Johnny Walker Black. It was delicious.
Yeah, it was delicious. Right, exactly.
It's amazing.
We're doing this wrong, okay, guys? Ralph is not supposed to say it's delicious at the end of this.
It tasted amazing.
That's an $18 tiny little bottle.
We still can get a donation in at the buzzer to get him to drink one of those. What else do you have?
I have Pink Whitney. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, that's from Barstool Sports. That's
and Howler Head. Howler Head.
This is terrible.
What is a Pink Whitney?
A Pink Whitney. I thought that was like vodka and cranberry and.
That sounds.
It's named after I thought Ray Whitney, the hockey player. I thought it was a Barstool drink.
It is a Barstool drink.
It seems like the Howler Head is the better choice.
Is it like a New Amsterdam? Is that New Amsterdam?
No, it's Barstool.
Okay.
Barstool Sports. It is New Amsterdam, made with real vodka. What a legend!
Wait, what did you just say?
What a legend!
What a legend! What?
That's what it says on the thing. I don't know. I don't know anything about Barstool.
Did you just say New Amsterdam?
Yeah, it is New Amsterdam. What a legend!
Okay, so it is New Amsterdam.
Made with real vodka.
Okay, but I just said it's New Amsterdam. You said no, it's not New Amsterdam. It's Barstool, and then you went ahead and read it, and you said it's New Amsterdam.
That's right, I did.
Okay,
so
I'm just
Thomas,
making sure.
Remind them who won the MVP, and thanks to everybody. Give us a roll call of who donated.
But you didn't get to $7.50, guys. I'm here now. You can start donating all the real money.
Oh, here we go.
Jesus, Dave.
What are we at? Are we at 300?
Andrew's just done with it. He's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm done.
I would die if people just started donating all the money back.
It'd be funny if his dad threw like $800.
Anyway, go ahead.
Do the roll call, Thomas, because we appreciate everyone who donates.
Yeah, thanks for last minute donations from Golf for 600 bits, and right now, just now, Jason Champagne for gifting a tier 1 sub. And thanks for so many different donators, 12 different donators this show. Thanks to Andrew, to Mr. Cleo, to Archmage, Jason Champagne, to Brett in Lafayette, Octoberisk, Biloxi Blues, to Budrich, to Ranamok, to Golfer, to Hatchet John, and the new MVP for the first time, who is Jody98 with 5,500 bits.
Thank you, Jody. I forgot to mention this, and I forgot to put it in the rundown, but I want to mention it, and I know people are still in the live stream, so and a lot of the live stream is patrons. I want to say this. Patrons, we are only doing one fantasy football league this year. If you are a patron, DM me in the Discord, and I will give you the link to the fantasy football league. We will go as deep as 20 teams in this league. We are going to get completely
go deep.
We're going to get completely wild. We'll go as deep as 20 teams in an auction league. It'll be insane. You'll be starting Colt McCoy as your quarterback. Have fun with this. If you're a patron, DM me in Discord. I'll send you the link. You can play in our auction league.
Going deep. He's going deep.
The winner gets
if you
year.
Come, you best come hard.
The winner gets a year free subscription. So
that is fucking stupid. Wake up.
So I hope
play that.
Not me.
I hope Thomas. I hope you have fun on vacation in the Dead Sea.
Dead Sea.
Who's going on vacation to the Dead Sea?
Thomas is going on vacation.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
He's going to.
He did this last year. That's right. I remember this. Him and his boys.
He's going to the Dead Sea.
Yeah, they go on like a train ride. They all get wasted on this train ride.
No, he's going. He's going to get wasted with.
Am I right? Is this correct?
He's going to go on the train, but he's getting wasted with his parents this year.
Let's not get into the details, man. Go on, man.
Oh, wait, are we embarrassing him? He's going on vacation.
Thomas likes his privacy.
Okay, little peek behind the curtain. Thomas is actually 12, and his parents are making him go on vacation.
Those voice modulators are pretty good these days, man.
Right.
It's like when you were 12 and your parents made you go on vacation to the Grand Canyon. This is the same. This is the Polish version of that.
Yeah, I need to go to bed because it's after midnight, man.
Smile.
I can't let them hear me, man. I need to hide under the bed.
But thanks to everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting Saints Happy Hour. Please go to saintshappyhour.com, become a patron, and support the show. We can't do it without you guys. Support. Thanks to Dave and Andrew, not to Kevin because he's off in St. Louis doing God. And Thomas, the best producer on earth, running the show back in Poland. Enjoy your vacation, Thomas, and then get back into the salt mine and work like a dog. So remember, kids, if you're going to support the Saints podcast, support the one that's a 2-time Louisiana Sports Writers Association podcast of the year. And until next time, the bar is closed.